This video will walk you through the disassembly and reassembly of the Microsoft Surface Laptop SE. Before you begin, ensure that your work surface is covered with an ESD-safe, non-marring material like this anti-static mat. Check that the surface is clean and clear of any debris or abrasive particles. Equip an anti-static wrist wrap. Ensure that your work area is properly grounded and safe. And lastly, make sure that you're wearing protective eyewear as a safety precaution. Warning: if the device you're working on has any of the following symptoms, immediately discontinue the repair and deliver the device to your variance manager or IT support professional for notification to Microsoft RRT. Evidence of heat damage such as burned, melted, or charred components, a case that is bulging or is opened for any reason other than user abuse such as dropping or tampering, a leaking, swollen, or otherwise deformed battery, or any accessory included with the device that exhibits any of these symptoms. If the D bucket is replaced, the serial number will no longer match the customer's device. Write down the original serial number and provide it to the customer upon completion of the repair. To begin disassembly, flip the device over so that its feet are facing up, and then slide the flat edge of a spudger between each foot and the D bucket. If you're not replacing the feet on the unit you're working on, you can skip this step to continue disassembly. To remove the C cover and keyboard assembly, begin by removing the 7 Torx Plus T6 screws securing the D bucket. Using your fingers, lift straight up along the back edge of the D bucket in between the display hinges until the snaps release. Flip the device over and open the display. Using your fingers or an opening tool, release the C cover snaps along the back edge, below the display. Continue releasing the snaps around the back right corner, down the right side, along the front edge of the device, and up the left side. Grasp the C cover by the edge below the display and hinge it up to about 45 degrees. Make sure not to lift more than 45 degrees or you may damage the FPC cables that are still connected. While holding the C cover at a 45-degree angle, use your spudger to walk out the battery connector of its socket on the motherboard. While still holding the C cover at a 45-degree angle, use your spudger to unlock and disconnect the 2 ZIF connectors securing the remaining FPC cables to the motherboard. The C cover should now lift right off. Before reinstalling the C cover, visually inspect both it and the D bucket for any loose articles, especially around the battery. Verify the condition of the liquid damage indicators on the motherboard along the top edge of the heatsink. Any color other than white indicates liquids have entered the device. Also verify the condition of the liquid damage indicator on the audio jack. The liquid damage indicator on the audio jack is viewable from the outside of the device. Shine a flashlight into the audio jack to see it. Devices exhibiting liquid damage require a whole unit replacement. To remove the battery, begin with the display opened no more than 90 degrees. Remove the 8 Phillips screws securing the battery to the D bucket, and then carefully remove the battery from the device using 2 suction cups. Make sure you do not touch any part of the battery other than the plastic perimeter during these steps. Using your spudger, remove the mylar cover from the Wi-Fi module and then disconnect the 2 antenna cables. Make sure not to damage the connector caps during removal, they are delicate. Using your Phillips Zero driver, remove the single screws securing the Wi-Fi module. And then lift the module from the top and pull it horizontally to disconnect it. Grasp both sides of the speaker cable connector with your fingers and then pull straight out to disconnect it. Using a pair of tweezers, remove the black tape securing the speaker wires to the D bucket. Use your spudger to lift the right speaker up and off its posts in the D bucket. Deroute the speaker wires from the channels and hooks in the D bucket, and then use your spudger to lift the left speaker up and out. With the AB cover at a 90-degree angle to the D bucket, use a spudger to flip up the black hinge to unlock the AB cover cable's ZIF connector. Use your finger to disconnect the AB cover cable from the motherboard. The AB cover cable is routed through some channels and hooks in the D bucket. Use a spudger to free it. Remove the 2 Phillips screws securing the right AB cover hinge, and then while holding the AB cover, remove the 2 screws from the left hinge. The AB cover should lift right out. Use 2 fingers to disconnect the DC power port from the motherboard, and then use a Phillips Zero screwdriver to remove the 2 screws securing the USB bracket. Lift the bracket out and then remove the single Phillips Zero screw securing the DC power port to the D bucket. Lift the DC power port out of the D bucket. There are 2 Phillips screws securing the motherboard. Remove those, and then lift the left side of the board slightly, and then pull the motherboard out of the D bucket at an angle. To begin reinstallation, align the motherboard I/O ports with the holes in the D bucket, and then lower it into place. Reinstall 2 new Phillips 0 screws to secure the motherboard. Place the DC power port back into the D bucket, making sure it's properly aligned with the hole in the D bucket, and then secure it with a new Phillips screw. Place the USB bracket into the D bucket, and then secure it with 2 new Phillips screws. Finally, connect the DC power port to the motherboard. Set the hinges of the AB cover to a 90-degree angle, and then lower it into the D bucket. While holding the AB cover in place, install 2 new screws in the left hinge, and 2 new screws into the right hinge to secure the AB cover. Using your spudger, reroute the AB cover cable through the D bucket channels and hooks, and then reinsert the cable into its SIF connector and lock it in place. Align the left speaker with its D bucket post and set it into place. Reroute the speaker cables to their guides in the D bucket, and then realign the right speaker with its D bucket posts and press it into place. Install new black tape to secure the speaker cable to the D bucket, and then connect the speaker cable to the motherboard. Insert the Wi-Fi module into its socket on the motherboard, and secure it in place with a new Phillips screw. Reconnect the antenna cables to the Wi-Fi module with the black cable connected to the left side, and the white cable connected to the right. Install a new Mylar cover over the Wi-Fi module. Holding the new battery by its loops, lower it into place in the D bucket. Secure the battery by reinstalling 8 new Phillips screws in the order shown. And then carefully remove the battery liner and loops. Lower the front edge of the C cover into the front edge of the D bucket, and then tilt it forward and hold it at a 45-degree angle. Reinsert the C cover cables into their ZIF connectors on the motherboard and lock them into place. Finally, connect the battery cable to the motherboard. Lower the C cover down into the D bucket, and then use your fingers to press down along the outside edges of the C cover to engage the snaps. Press down on the center of the keyboard to engage the keyboard hook. Power on your device, connect your USB drive, and run STT to ensure all device features and functions operate as expected. Proceed if no further repairs are required. Power off the device and place it upside down on your work surface. Reinstall the screws in the order shown here. Clean off any remaining adhesive residue from the feet recesses with some isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free cloth. Peel the protective backing off a new foot, keeping in mind the rear feet near the hinge are larger than the front feet, and then press the foot into the D bucket recess for 10 seconds.